If you're an over-explainer, it does not mean you're weak. It does not mean you're people-pleasing in some shallow way. It usually means you are thoughtful, you're considerate, you care about how your words land on other people. Those are good qualities. The problem is not the intention. It is what happens when that consideration goes too far. Today, we need to have a conversation about over-explaining what it is and why we do it.
Manners on the go.
Can I tell you about a message I once sent? A colleague asked if I could join a call that Friday afternoon. Simple request, simple answer. But what I sent back was not simple. I wrote something like, "Oh, I'm so sorry. Friday afternoons are usually quite hectic for me, and I have something already on that day. I've been trying to reschedule for a while, and I didn't want to keep moving things around because that wouldn't be fair to the other person. And I know this call is important, I really do. So I feel terrible saying this, but by the time I finished typing, I had written a small essay to say no to a Friday afternoon call. And the worst part, my colleague replied with 4 words. No problem. Next week." That was it. No disappointment, no judgment, no need for the essay at all. I put myself through all of that for nothing. Sounds familiar? Welcome to Manners on the Go. I'm Tosin Babasara Craig, and today we need to have a conversation about over-explaining what it is and why we do it. Now, before anything else, I want to say this clearly. If you're an over-explainer, it does not mean you're weak. It does not mean you're people-pleasing in some shallow way. It usually means you are thoughtful, you're considerate, you care about how your words land on other people. Those are good qualities. The problem is not the intention. It is what happens when that consideration goes too far. Here's the psychology of it, as honestly as I can put it. Over-explaining is a fear response. Fear of being misunderstood, fear of seeming difficult, fear of disappointing someone you respect, fear of being judged as cold, as proud, as someone who thinks they are too important to explain themselves. And for many of us, especially those who grew up in environments where elders and authority figures expected justification, where saying a plain no to someone senior felt almost rude, over-explaining isn't just a habit. It was trained into us. We learned early that a bare answer could seem disrespectful, that cushioning your response was a polite thing to do, that the longer your explanation, the more it showed you cared. And in some contexts, personal relationships, family, close friendships, that instinct has its place. But in professional settings, it works against you quietly and consistently. Here's the thing nobody tells you directly. When you over-explain a simple decision, you do not come across as thorough or considerate. You come across as uncertain. Think about it this way. If I handed you a report and then spent 10 minutes explaining why every paragraph was correct, you'll start wondering if maybe some of it wasn't. Confidence does not argue with itself out loud. Compare these 2 responses to the same request. I won't be able to join that meeting. I'm so sorry. I have something on and I've been trying to manage my schedule better. And I know that this is important, but I just can't move things around right now. And I really hope that's okay. Versus, I won't be available at that time, but I can send some of my notes ahead. Same outcome, but one of those responses belongs to someone who is managing their time. The other belongs to someone who is apologizing for having a life. The room hears that difference. Your colleague feels it, and over time, it shapes how seriously people take you. Not because they are judging you, but because you are inadvertently telling them what to do. Now, let me speak to something specific, because I know many of you are navigating professional environments where seniority carries real weight, where you would not dream of giving a one-line answer to your MD without some context, where brevity to someone older or more senior can feel like disrespect. I hear that, and I'm not telling you to be blunt or dismissive of people who deserve your respect, but there's a difference between context and defense. Context is useful. Context says, here's the relevant information that helps you understand my position. Defense, on the other hand, is anxiety. Defense says, please don't be upset with me. Please understand. Please approve. One serves the other person. The other serves your nerves. The goal is to give people what they need to understand your decision, not to give them everything you have ever thought about. I've reviewed this carefully, and I recommend we take a different approach. Here is why. That's confidence. That's respectful. That is enough. Here is where most people fall apart, even when they start well. You give a clear, clean answer. You stop talking. And then silence arrives. And something in your brain goes, danger. And you start talking again. You add more. You explain the explanation. You apologize for the answer you just gave. You undo the 10 seconds, everything you built in the 30 before it. I want you to reframe that silence. Silence after a clear statement is not awkwardness. It is not disapproval. It is not a sign that you said the wrong thing. It is the other person processing. And that pause, that 3-second gap where you hold your answer and let it breathe, that is what composure looks like from the outside. Try it this week. Say what you mean. Stop and resist the urge to fill the quiet. It will feel uncomfortable. Do it anyway. I told you about that message at the beginning, but let me go a little deeper. For a long time, I operated under the belief that more explanation meant more credibility, that walking someone through every layer of my thinking showed depth, showed respect, showed that I had truly considered their feeling. What I did not realize was that underneath all of that explanation was something I did not want to admit. I was seeking approval, not just understanding, but approval. I wanted people to hear my reasoning and say in effect, oh yes, that's acceptable, you may proceed. And the moment I saw that clearly, that I really saw it, something shifted. Because I realized that people I most respected professionally did not operate that way. They made decisions and then they communicated them clearly and they moved forward without waiting for the room to validate them first. That is what I want for you. Not coldness, not arrogance, just the quiet confidence of someone who has done the thinking, made the call, and trusted themselves enough to say so without a safety net of words underneath it. Let me be practical. Here are 3 swaps to practice this week. Instead of, I'm so sorry I can't make it. It's just that I have so much on right now and I've been really stretched and I didn't want to let you down. But blah, blah, blah. Try, I won't be able to make it. Let's find another time, please. Instead of, I think maybe we could consider possibly exploring a different option because I just feel like perhaps blah, blah, blah. Try, I recommend we go in a different direction. Instead of, I just wanted to quickly explain my thinking before you respond because I don't want you to think I haven't considered your point. I really have. It's just that blah, blah, blah. Try, here is my position. Clean, calm, complete. And if those feel too sharp at first, that feeling is not a sign that you're being unkind. It is the discomfort of taking up the space you have always been entitled to. What changes when you stop? Here is what I have seen in my own career and with the professionals I work with. When the over-explaining stops, people start taking your answers as face value instead of looking for the cracks. Conversations get shorter and more productive. You stop leaving interactions feeling like you gave away too much. And quietly, steadily, the way people speak to you begins to shift because the way you speak about yourself has shifted first. You speak less, you mean more. The professionals who command respect are not the ones with the longest explanations. They are the ones whose yes means yes, whose no means no, and whose sentences end without apology. That is not a personality type. That is a practice. So this week, catch yourself. Notice the moment the essay starts forming and ask yourself honestly, am I explaining this? Or am I asking for permission to have said it? Because you do not need permission, you just need clarity. Until next time, work with confidence, composure, and class wherever you go. I'm Tosin Babasaya Craig, and this is Manners on the Go. Goodbye.
Manners on the Go.